It's been nearly 10 months since the mid-air crash where an Army helicopter collided with an American Airlines regional jet outside Washington, D.C., killing 67 people.
Now, the air traffic controller on duty that night recounts the experience, offering insight into why the tragedy took place and the one thing that they would change.
Chief Transportation Correspondent and pilot Mackay Beeler joining us this morning. Mackay, what are we learning?
Yeah, so the main air traffic controller, whose name has not been made public, was interviewed for many hours after the accident by government investigators. Well, their interview has been released now as part of a public hearing held by the NTSB. The two pilots and two flight attendants aboard American Airlines Flight 5342 and the three-member crew aboard the helicopter all died. Now, transcripts from the cockpit voice recorders offered some detail in the seconds leading up to the crash, along with this controller's personal point of view. Now, the controller said staffing was adequate, although a bit of a strain working both the helicopter and airplane traffic that night. The volume of air traffic he described as a little bit heavier than normal. Investigators say the Army helicopter was on a training flight, flying too high and too close to the regional jet, appearing unaware of the danger. Now, the jet was approaching Reagan National Airport when controllers asked the pilots of the regional jet to switch runways to runway 33, and they agreed, and this is typical. Now, at the same time, the helicopter was flying too close to that runway along its usual route over the Potomac River. The controller warned the helicopter of the jet's position several times. The chopper pilot radioed they had the plane in sight, so the controller issued them a command to pass behind the jet. Air traffic controllers told them to maintain visual separation, which the Black Hawk acknowledged, but the pass behind order was not heard in the helicopter because of an audio interruption from their microphone. And then the tragedy, the controller said, quote, "We all saw it from the front of the tower, the plane and the helicopter in pieces plummeting into the river."
Okay, Mackay, so we talked about it in the very beginning here. The report from the air traffic controller says that they would have done one thing differently if they could go back. What is that one thing?
They said the one thing would have been they wouldn't have switched runways. Mm-hmm. Now, asking a pilot to switch runways, it's common, doesn't happen every day. The pilot can choose not to switch runways, but they felt safe to switch runways, so the CRJ didn't do anything wrong. And telling them to switch runways wasn't anything wrong, but the controller with hindsight says, well, you know, maybe it brought them too close to the helicopter. So the controller said they would not have asked them to switch runways. The controller also said they had the opportunity perhaps to ask the helicopter to hold in place, but didn't do so because trusted the helicopter pilots who said they had the traffic in sight. They had the plane in sight. Mm-hmm. They were going to maintain visual separation. So it was their responsibility now to maintain separation from the jet. The question is, did they not have the right aircraft in sight?
Still a lot to learn, a lot of stories and memories coming out of this.
Something else I want to make clear about a visual separation. You know, as a pilot, once they tell me, oh, do you have the plane in sight? Do you have traffic in sight? Yes, I have the plane in sight. Maintain visual separation. I must keep myself separated from that aircraft. If I lose separation, I must tell the controller I've lost separation, because the controller isn't going to separate you anymore. They're trusting you have the plane in sight. You will maintain a safe distance. Because of the complexity of the DCA system, it's so busy and congested. Out of this accident has come a new rule that they will no longer give visual separation clearances to pilots. ATC will continue to separate you, an additional safety factor. Anyway, we're still learning, investigation still underway.
All right, Mackay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.